Nah, sorry, boys. Oh, man.
But you couldn't even do the intro.
Oh, what's up, boys? Welcome back to the 1% podcast. How are we all doing? We're literally laughing about absolutely nothing. That's the funniest part.
We're laughing about pressing the start button on the
Little you boys know this happens every single podcast, and usually it's someone that's just pissing themselves for no reason at all.
Rory, mate, you look different today.
Yeah, we've got Rory on the podcast, and on the other seat we've got Hayden and Will back at it again. We're coming in with a banger episode today. We're going to talk about something that is quite possibly shaping the world as is. 50 things that... Well, I'm not going to say 50. We're just going to do...
We did not.
Boys, what was that intro? Yeah. No, it was piss poor. I'm not even going to lie. But we're going to do things that are lowering men's testosterone these days. Before I get into the list, I want you guys to come up on the top of your heads with just some things that you know about.
The lower testosterone. So, bad sleep, probably number one. Poor diet, and just a low testosterone environment, like an office,
like a sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah.
And why do you think it's bad that men are lowering their testosterone these days?
Because, okay, so from a relationship standpoint, it's the equivalent of having a lesbian relationship. From a life point of view, like you're a man, you're supposed to have testosterone. That's literally the deciding factor between whether you're a woman or a man. So if you have low test, you're shifting more towards being a woman, which is not what you want to be, because you're pretty much set up in life, born to be most successful the more manly you are, because you're born a man. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
And what do you think, Hayden?
Give us three.
Okay, so the big one I think is tap water. It's like everyone drinks it, and it's got.
I'm gonna get up the pipes.
You actually think that's like...
I'm gonna get up the pipes right now.
It's a big one. It's got estrogen in it because they filter out.
They can't filter out the hormones.
They filter. Yeah, they literally filter out everything except hormones, and mostly.
I'm looking it up now. Water, mains.
Is there statistics that actually show the percentage difference? Because
yeah, we needed some stats here.
I've been drinking tap water my whole life.
Yeah, and
and I'm not a girl.
Yeah. I've always said I think our test levels are at the point where nothing can puncture them. So
I've been drinking tank water my whole life.
All right, here we go. Here we are, boys.
Tell me why
I'll
you
get this up.
Have those genetics.
Lads, this is what you're drinking out of.
Ew.
Right?
Oh.
That's what you're drinking out of when you drink tap water.
Is that estrogen? What is that?
Yeah, that's
clumps of estrogen.
Yeah, but anyway, when you're drinking tap water, this is what got me to just completely. I'm never touching tap water again in my life. That's what you're drinking out of, okay? And I had a few plumbers reply to the story like, that's nothing, you know?
Really?
Look at that.
Oh, brother.
That's what you're drinking out of.
Brother.
So keep that in mind every single time you drink tap water.
And like that's going through rust and like the metal, heavy metals. That's terrible. That's what. Isn't that like one of the main causes of miscarriages these days?
Well,
a lot of it.
John Skywalker summed it up perfectly. He's like, so you drink out of the plastic bottles and you
turn gay. And you drink out of the metal, you turn retarded.
Yeah, and you get the same turn retarded because the heavy metals pretty much just destroy your brain cells.
Yeah.
So like, pick one. Do you
real shit? They say if you're gonna have a kid, make sure she's not drinking tap water like months before you have the kid. But I'd argue if you were a family unit, you just wouldn't drink tap water in general. You just have a reverse osmosis filter installed in the premises.
I'm looking at still gonna get one of those.
You will not catch me.
I drink like the bottled water that like literally says, like that has bottles on it that says it's like BPA free.
Yeah, BPA free.
Yeah.
Our youth market shaker cups are also BPA free, by the way.
Yeah, you can find that at youthmarketmelbourne.com. Okay, we're actually gonna hit Jesse with a banger. So 3 things that lower your testosterone right now. I mean, Rory.
Nutrition, sleep, lifestyle.
Nutrition and sleep lower it.
No.
Well, not getting that.
Lack of. Yeah,
lack of
I agree
nutrition,
with that.
Too much McDonald's, too much KFC. It's not good for you.
Yeah, just picture like if you go to do something and in the back of your mind like this probably isn't good for me. Would my ancient ancestors have done this? And the answer is no. Then it's probably lowering your testosterone.
And what are our thoughts on BPAs? What is BPAs? Where can you find them? And is it lowering testosterone?
It's a type of like microplastic that's found in a lot of plastic bottles, not our youth market shaker cups, but And it's found in like everything that's plastic, like everything's plastic. Receipts.
Let's talk on receipts.
Receipts are one of the richest sources of BPAs.
If you boys have ever seen behind like a McDonald's counter and you've seen that stereotype on The Simpsons, you know, you look behind the KFC counters and it's like everyone that works behind there is really greasy, pimply. A lot of them have gyno. Like literally go look behind the counter and see who's working there. They touch so much receipts and like all of the oils and stuff. Fucks with your endocrine system. It just annihilates it.
Like, I swear,
ink, all that stuff.
Like, there's a lot of jobs out there that are tanking your test. I wouldn't trade any sort of pay for that. Honestly, the only jobs where you're safe from it is like trades. Matter of fact, I'd say they raise your test, especially like the hard trades. I know when I went from school to bricklaying / labouring, holy fuck, like
test increase.
I swear I grew up like 5 years in like the span of 1 year. Because it would have just been a massive testosterone increase. It just would have been massive. Hard work, hyper-masculine environment.
And also because it's like, it is somewhat of an exercise because it's like heavy lifting and stuff. And if you do no exercise at all, like your testosterone will tank. You got no activity.
And going straight from school, like it's just night and day. Like you're just sitting in a chair all day.
It's the perfect recipe for low test.
The opposite of a hyper-masculine environment. All your teachers are women. You're being like surrounded by these women ideals. And then you go into a trade site. It's just men and it's just like, it's hard labor. It's hard,
Well, if you think about it, the whole corona time, what were we locked down for? A year or two, weren't we? It was over 2 years even.
2 years.
Yeah, so that was basically supercharged. The brainwashing of corona was supercharged by the fact that everyone was living in this sedentary lifestyle. Therefore, everyone got really weak in that time. Like how much mental illness was there at that time? People were killing themselves more often than they were dying from COVID. I mean, we can look at the stats, but
that's crazy. People
were just crumbling because what people don't realize, they have no knowledge on what living a life like that does in lockdown. That's not how humans live. That's like being trapped in your cave. You know,
well, it's funny because people will go to the zoo and be like, "Oh, those poor animals, they're trapped in a cage. They're meant to be out in the wild." I'm like, we're the fucking same. You sit in your bedroom all day. You're literally doing the same thing
by choice.
By choice, you're choosing to do that. Just sit in bed, like on your little phone, scrolling. Like, if you saw an animal doing that, you'd be like, "Something's wrong with that animal. That's cruel. They shouldn't do that to the animal."
Why is it just sitting still?
But
like
you're
that?
volunteering to do that every day.
Yeah.
So that lowest test. Sitting in your bed, get out of the bed. All right, bring up the list. Bring up the list. We had a...
Alright, boys. I gotta get... Should I bring up ChatGPT on the main screen?
Say, because I'm proud of it, I made the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And make the thumbnail
my first ever time.
We're actually going to bring it up on the big screen because it's going to be a lot easier for the viewers.
So we're incorporating AI into this episode.
Yeah. So
AI is helping this episode. AI is replacing Rory.
Okay.
Rory lost his job.
Alright, boys, the list is up. So, we've already spoken on a bit of this. Up here, we've got high levels of stress, which we haven't, but that can also be good for test. So, Will, you would know most about this, so with stress and sleep, because we've also got lack of quality sleep. So, how does sleep and stress affect testosterone?
Oh, well, so they're pretty interlinked because if you have poor sleep, then you don't allow your cortisol levels to spike during the day. So, cortisol is basically stress. It's the hormone released in response to stress. So you should have very low cortisol during the nighttime if you want to sleep, which means you need to have high cortisol levels during the day to sleep well. But we build testosterone in our sleep. Low cortisol, I hope people are keeping track of this.
Yep.
Low cortisol is better for testosterone, and we produce testosterone in our sleep.
Yep.
So if you have a stressful day, that means that you're going to have a non-stressful sleep, which means you're going to produce more testosterone in your sleep.
So does this mean that viewers at home can picture like you have like a cortisol tank and you have to use that up during the day, otherwise that is going to be what's in your sleep, like blocking the testosterone.
It's like when people say they can't sleep or they have trouble sleeping, there is literally no other issue than you haven't been stressed out enough or you haven't had
exerted enough energy.
You haven't exerted enough stress during the day.
Or even energy.
Just energy, stress. Same, like when you lift weights, that's stress. When you do training, that's stress. When you're at work, that's stress. Like if you sit in your bed all day, you're not going to be able to sleep because you haven't exerted that tank of cortisol.
Yeah. Okay, so also we have here obesity or being overweight. And I think this one's really funny because, well, it's not funny, it's a big issue, but so having low testosterone can cause you to become overweight. You know, you get the gyno, you get the higher fat levels, but then also being fat and overweight, same thing, can also lower your testosterone.
Yeah.
So
It's a bit of a cycle, isn't it?
it's a cycle. It's a cycle.
Stuck on a loop there, mate.
Yeah.
The only thing you do is force yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Like starve yourself to boost your test. Because then, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think everyone almost understands that, but maybe they don't. Because then, like, if you knew how damaging being overweight really was, no one would be overweight.
Well, no one thinks it's
It's the same thing.
Like on the news, they literally encourage it.
Yeah.
So they clearly don't know how bad it is.
Yeah.
And like I saw a magazine the other day. It was like this big fat woman on the front. I was like,
Yeah, it's the same thing as alcohol. Like people know it's bad, but they don't. If they knew how bad it was, I don't think they'd be drinking. Like after listening to that episode of Andrew Huberman explaining what alcohol really does, that was the point where I've probably drank one or two standard drinks since then.
Yep.
Really, like
We have, actually, funny enough, we have chronic alcohol consumption on number 5.
beautiful.
Yeah, I thought you would have seen
I
that.
didn't even see that. But
Yeah. If you can think of any alcoholic ever, you can just see how emotional they are, how weak they are, how susceptible they are to just falling under the pressure of any sort of hurdle in their life. I mean, being an alcoholic makes any minor issue into a massive one. It's just terrible.
yeah. It's literally it produces estrogen.
It's a toxin. So how's that not going to influence your hormone system?
I just gotta say one thing. You can't tell me something that is legal. Like, sorry, I messed up my words. But something shouldn't be legal that you consume and makes you want to hurt people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But it is because they tax it, and it's just such tradition.
people that are the benefits.
Yeah.
as well.
Think about how big the industry is.
They get bloody court cases from people doing stupid shit. That's money. They can tax alcohol itself. You know, but they make money off people dying, don't they?
Yeah.
But they make money off the drinks, bro. You fucking
But like,
how much money people spend on drinks?
15 bucks for a standard drink.
Or everything around it that alcohol does, besides
I
the
mean,
drink itself.
if you think that our government or our Prime Minister has the best interest for us, we literally had our premier at the weakest point of human history of people, which was when we were in lockdown.
The point in time where the people had the biggest mental health issues.
Biggest mental health issue, they're susceptible to anything, where the premier says, get on the beers. Get on the beers.
But yeah,
So, I mean, if you think they've really got our best interests,
think again.
yeah.
They got the best interest for the tradies.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, smoking tobacco. I don't know about this one. I know some instances where
it definitely
yeah, the opposite.
it definitely stuffs your lungs up and everything else, which I guess can lower. But I've heard it raise.
Well, tobacco, but nicotine can raise testosterone. Nicotine can raise testosterone, but it's very
with a lot of these things. There's little to no research on it.
Yeah,
which is I'm a big stats person. I'm a big analytics person. I need to see the research.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
All I've heard it from is people who smoke. They probably want to make
Yeah, just a cope.
It's like Andrew takes the cigars, raises his test. Like, does it? I don't know.
Although when you do think of like smokers, you think of
you
just
think high
like,
test.
You think high test.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
I think of bloody.
yeah, but think of that guy walking around the site with the fucking dart, like get it done, you know.
And he's the most emotional guy out there.
Yeah, just loses his shit. I think there's a big misconception. I just want to say this before we get through this list. There's a big misconception of what testosterone does to a man. Like, a lot of people think it's just like chronic anger and outbursts. That can actually be low test, like from irritation and stuff. If you look up high test symptoms, a lot of it will say mental stability. It'll say things like mental clarity, better well-being.
Their stress levels are like they don't.
Lower stress levels. I mean, we can literally Google it right now if we really want to. We'll look up high test. This keyboard is like has no letters on it, by the way. So
from back in the game.
Symptoms. Yeah, symptoms in
the gaming
men.
keyboard.
That's why all my spelling's all weird. All right, so we get up a list here.
Obviously, there's the physical ones like hair growth.
I'll spell out the full thing. It'll come up. Signs of high test as a man. Okay, we have excessive body hair, acne, high blood pressure, headaches.
Heart or liver problem.
What's
swelling of legs and feet.
yeah? What the fuck?
Difficult.
And saying it like it's a disease.
Yeah, it's like this is I said this. We're going to get to this where the government will start reporting high test as a disease, and they'll
100%.
they'll start treating people with contraceptions
You know what's
to
funny?
get rid of it.
You can brainwash any generation. You just got to wait time.
Yeah.
Because eventually the knowledge that we have, like, no, it's not a disease, that'll get washed out, and eventually our grandkids could believe it's a disease.
Hang on.
Aggression is a sign of high test.
I mean, I'd say
Yeah, it is for sure.
But learning to control it's also.
More muscle. What?
Irregular periods. Excuse me. Oh,
Bro, you just looked up. That's for women, you fucking twat. It's right there at the top. Signs for men with penises. No, for people with penises. Why don't they just say male and female? Why don't they just say male and female?
Yeah, high sex drive, low sperm count, infertility, weight gain.
in mood, low sperm count. What? I thought it was high. Infertility.
Okay. That what's called? Where is it? The high sex drive is facts.
Yeah, you'll know instantly whether you got high tests or not just by the fact of like how much do you want to fuck.
Yeah,
Or like
How
how.
come it says low sperm count?
I'm not actually sure on that one. I'm not educated on that. Infertility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not true.
Weight gain?
And weight gain's also not true. I don't trust any of this shit, bro. Like,
But are we noticing?
if anyone that understands testosterone would know that just isn't true.
Literally, whenever women get on birth control, lowers their testosterone, they get fat.
Like acne is true, excessive body hair is obviously true, high blood pressure is true, headaches. So just every masculine man is suffering chronic headaches, or what?
I'd say that's a low test symptom. Think about it, just sitting inside all day. Low testosterone. That's when you get headaches. So
I need a trusted source here, boys. Someone give me a trusted
the
source.
1% podcast.
Who owns
is the
Google?
trusted
Come on,
source.
boys. Who owns Google?
Every site's saying something different.
Look up Reddit at the end.
Reddit?
What will Reddit be?
Reddit's real people, not some fucking geek behind a computer screen running forums. No, not forums, fucking blog posts. Who writes blog posts? Geeks. The signs are a blood test and measure it.
Yeah. Facts. We all need to get our blood test done.
I'm doing this as a competitive blood test, by the way. I'm winning.
Okay. All right. So, Will, but before we keep going, what is the most important reason you think guys should have high test or try
success.
to increase it?
I think the higher your test levels, the quicker you're going to be successful as a man. Honestly.
You just need test to be a man.
Yeah, it just increases like drive, discipline. It makes you a better man. It literally makes you a better man. Like you think of low testosterone people, they do bad things.
Scratch that. It doesn't make you a better man. It just makes you a man.
No, but exactly. Everything that a man should be is related to testosterone because that's the only thing that changes in terms of females and males.
And I think once you get older, past 60, 65, I think it starts declining around 40 or something.
Yeah,
Around that. It's different for everyone, but
Depends who you are.
yeah.
it depends. About
But
40
anyway,
plus.
it starts declining, and a lot of guys get on TRT, and then I don't know if you've seen some of the videos of how their lives have changed once they hop on. You know, because it's like you said.
Says,
Every like high level person at that age is on it. Like think of The Rock.
If you want to
the reason they're not saying they're on steroids, all these actors and stuff, is because they're like on testosterone replacement therapy. But just it's steroids, yeah. No, it's controlled steroids. It's steroids prescribed by a doctor.
Yeah, but you just think of every high functioning person over the age of 50, most of them are on TRT.
So what are some protocols people can use at home to like block out all of these disruptive chemicals and plastics and metals from getting in their system?
Screw your head on.
Yeah, I'd say just go out. I'd say the biggest thing, like I've been drinking tap water my whole life. Yeah, it has negative effects, but the biggest difference it's going to make is just living an active lifestyle. Go to the gym and lift
Living
weights.
a lifestyle that would make sense for a guy.
Yeah, live it make it make sense, mate. Like go outside, go to the gym, eat good foods, eat meat. Fucking if you're vegan, bro, what the fuck? Bro, if you're vegetarian, what are you doing?
We already knew this, but on the radio, I was listening to the radio. This guy was researching like vegans to people who only eat meat for 10 years straight, and he said there is not a single benefit to being vegan, but only eating meat. But only eating meat is extreme, like really good for brain function. Literally everything we've been saying.
Of course.
And I'm like, I can't believe it took him 10 years to come up with this conclusion.
It actually blows my mind. So,
but my mum has been always saying like, "Oh, you veggies," and then she heard,
It's just reported by the
that, and she
government.
was like, Oh, I'm like, I can't believe that you needed that guy to tell you. I've been saying this the whole time.
Okay, so Hima, so there was a point I eat. I mean, I guess I have some carbohydrates now, but I went a few months where it was literally only meat.
Yeah, and it was so
And
good.
Right.
everyone's like, when I was telling people, it blew their mind. They're like, "Don't you have issues like you're gonna get all congested and blah 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 blah?" I'm like, "No, I'm the healthiest I've ever felt."
Yeah, like, what are you on about?
I might go back to being full carnivore to be honest,
Is it-
because it was so good.
So with me, I faint a lot. I was in hospital a lot when I was little. When I was living here, I pretty much had most of my food was meat, and I never fainted. Remember, like I
Yeah.
never fainted.
Yeah.
I have cut back on meat, not on purpose. I just haven't been eating as much meat, and I'm starting to feel faint again.
Yeah.
So I need to start eating more meat.
Well, beef does have a lot of iron.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Beef does have a lot of iron, but like, it's got all the nutrients you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything veggies has.
So if people think you can't survive on only meat, then how the fuck were cavemen like? Obviously they had fruits and there's sometimes had to resort to other stuff, but realistically, they're hunting down animals and they're eating the meat.
If you think about the most successful tribes, like I used to know a few back in the day. If you think about some of the most successful, good blokes, the most successful ones were killing animals. They were killing other animals. They weren't fucking eating the grass on the ground.
Those
You know
like
what I
the
mean?
little peasants.
They actually fed the peasants wheat.
Regardless of what our ancestors were doing, have you looked at a vegan? They
Yeah.
look terrible.
Yeah.
They look shit. But people who only eat meat look like, have a good amount of muscle on them. They're fucking working hard. They're thinking straight. They're not thinking all this stupid shit.
If you're really concerned about lack of have a multivitamin, and then just eat meat. Why the fuck do you need veggies? I'm sorry, but you don't need veggies. I'm just gonna say.
Veggies weren't made to be eaten.
I used to be at this approach, like balance it out. You know, you need some things, blah blah blah. Okay, I'm sure, but you don't need them. I haven't had a veggie in like 6 months. Like, I don't fucking.
Yeah.
If you go back to the vegan situation, right? If you really think about it, why are they vegan? They're vegan because they're pussies. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're vegan because they're
No one
pussy.
with high test wants to be a
If
vegan.
you're low test, you're gonna be vegan, bro.
No, literally. But if you look at it in a different angle, it's them being pussy. Like, oh, I don't want to kill a pig. I don't want to kill a cow. How do you think the people thousands and thousands of years ago ate?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a food chain for a reason.
And what would that pig do if it could eat you?
Literally, it would eat you. If you were dead laying in front of it and all those pigs were hungry, they would just munch on
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bro, it's too we're too privileged. Like,
you. Without a thought in their brain, by the way. So listen up.
They're not gonna be like, oh, is this human cruelty? No, they're just gonna fucking munch in it. Probably while you're alive too. Animals eat other animals alive. At least we kill them first, like humanely.
Wait till they get to the intestines.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. You ever see like the zebras run around the safari? What's it called? The savannas with their fucking like guts hanging out. Like we
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah, we just put a bullet in it.
Yeah.
Hey, to be
It's the humane way.
And also, sorry, you go.
You're right. To be fair, we do run around with legless limbs. I was running around with a toe hanging off the other week.
Yeah.
No, but also,
That's human cruelty.
but with these vegans, well, I don't understand how they say animal cruelty. With their crops, we have to kill every single animal that goes on those crops, and also we kill heaps of bees and bugs. Like bees literally run.
Herbicides.
What determines
Bees-
one life is more important than another
The
life?
world will literally end if bees become extinct and they're killing them for their plants.
Free the bees.
Anyway,
Honestly, I don't know anything about this shit. All I know is eat meat, high test.
Yeah.
Like it's good for you. Just-
Speaking about bees, honey is also really good for test. Eggs are really good
Is
for
it?
test.
I've
Yeah.
been slamming them.
Yeah.
So-
Egg-
I mean, I have a lot of
eggs,
honey.
honey.
Also, if you have really bad hay fever, they say a teaspoon of honey a day will like make it almost go away.
I heard that like I think it's a teaspoon of honey with a pinch of salt is like
Yeah.
as equivalent to a pre-workout or something.
Salt's also good. Can we?
Yeah, 'cause you get the
can we
sugar and the
quickly
sodium.
speak on sodium as well? So there was actually. So you know how they say salt is really bad for you. It can cause heart problems and all this stuff.
Fucking heaps of it.
There's too much sodium.
It's not the sodium, right? So where they come up with these studies is from asking people how much sodium do you have in your diet, and then they'll look at what they're eating, right? You can look at McDonald's or any fast food; it's just sodium ridden, sodium everywhere. They go, "Oh, I eat this much and this much," and then they look at their health. Okay, they're clearly in bad shape. They're unhealthy. Their heart rate is, way out of place. And
Must be the-
then they determine that salt is bad for you.
Yeah, because like, it must be the
Salt
sodium.
yeah.
Like, no, it's the McDonald's.
It's the fucking McDonald's. Salt is great for you. Warriors used to eat like 25 grams of sodium, which is just insane.
soldiers.
Sodium is really, really good for you. If you just have salt-based electrolytes, it's amazing for brain function and everything.
Well, it literally allows your nerves and your muscles to function properly. Without sodium and other electrolytes,
Yeah.
they can't form connections. Have you tried to do training without electrolytes? It
Oh,
feels like
dude,
your muscles don't contract.
yeah. I know what you mean.
And like,
Even just dehydrated in general.
yeah. Or if you just haven't had because if you have a meal that's got sodium in it, you'll get the similar effects.
Yeah.
But if you just haven't eaten or taken electrolytes, your muscles can't probably even, your
Yeah.
nerves can't form the right connections.
Why do you think all those fighters, they say after their fights when they've been on a dehydration clause and they've fought dehydrated, that's their excuse? It's like,
Yeah.
I was dehydrated, because it takes a fucking toll.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just, it's fucked. It's fucked up.
So
Let's go through this list.
yes, we have more to get through here. Don't
Yeah,
we?
we've got through like 3 of them.
All right, so smoking tobacco with that one. Certain medications such as
Yeah.
opioids. Yes, that is obvious. Obviously,
Vitamin D is a big one.
vitamin D is really good.
This is
for
why I
you.
say go out in the sun.
Yeah.
Son. Think primal. Think primal. What the fuck do cavemen do? Do that, and you will win.
I heard
mean-
I heard a lot of Australians are becoming vitamin D deficient because they're scared of getting skin cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's 100%.
I think
true,
the whole skin
but
cancer thing
it
is-
would not surprise me because
Yeah.
like, everyone's scared.
I
of
mean,
that shit.
Australians aren't built for Australia, so like,
Yeah,
what do you
we're not built
expect?
for
You know
it,
what I
so,
mean? It's
yeah.
like, this is just it's self-destructing here. Okay. Exposure to endocrine disrupting chemicals, EDCs. Yes, obviously we're talking about this. Plastics, pesticides, and
This is
other
why-
environmental.
this is also why I
they
don't
are
like the veg-
poisoning the food.
Well,
pesticides.
Yeah.
Are fucking
Yeah, I mean
They're
they're
in veggies.
poisoning the foods in all your mainstream supermarkets. I mean we're literally cooked, bro. Like.
bigger.
there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can. There's literally nothing you can do except just buy meat.
Except just
you
eat
can buy
beef.
meat and that's all you can do,
It
man.
is organic, fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no one can fucking afford that these
You are
days.
you are
Stuff
on
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you're honestly safe. Go to the butcher, get some. I mean,
Get some meat, get some milk, get some eggs, bro. That's all you
Yeah.
fucking need, man.
Fucking beef, milk, eggs, honey, bang.
Are you really gonna trust like people to just that packaged food that you eat, like the LCM bars and all that shit? Do you even know what the fuck's in that?
No.
Does anyone even care? Of course not.
All I know
It's
is
just-
sugar.
Just
Oh, like look at the back. It looks like a fucking textbook. It's crazy. Like what are they even putting in? Like why do you need all that?
Like the packaging's all
Yeah.
fancy and shit.
Yeah, but then you look at the back of it, and it's just a textbook. High sugar intake, yes, obviously. Processed food consumption,
Soy.
oh man, like soy, yeah, like excessive soy consumption. Like, what do you need soy sauce for? Is soy sauce soy though? No, I actually don't know.
I call people soy. Yeah, that's literally used. If you think this is all just not meat.
Yeah,
You just eat meat. You're
It
safe.
can all be summarized not meat.
Oh, these fucking vegans low taste.
Excessive consumption of flaxseed. What's that?
Licorice as well. That's interesting. I haven't heard about that.
Is that high test or
Low
Low
test.
test, probably.
Okay, this annoys me because everyone, the mainstream dieting people always say like fatty stuff is bad.
Oh, bro,
It's like
fat's
literally
good.
low fat diets lower your testosterone. Fat is good. Like no fat. And when I eat
Fat
meat,
comes in meat, boys.
When
It's just
I eat
anything
meat-
that's not meat.
Yeah, when I eat meat, like the thing I'm going for the most is the fat because I feel better after.
Yeah. Of
It's
course.
so funny if you like look at this sort of thing, right? Almost everything on this list goes against what the mainstream wants you to believe, and then people will call the like the theory that the governments and higher ups are trying to lower our testosterone. They'll say that's a conspiracy theory.
Then how it's
I'm like, how?
they're
It's
telling
so,
you.
It is so fucking
It's in
obvious.
front of you. You just have to think for yourself.
Yeah.
Use your
If
brain.
you don't think for yourself, that's low T. So you should.
Yeah, it is low T.
Yeah, it honestly is it's like the Great Awakening. Once you realize everything is everything's a lie, you just
Yeah,
you can't-
everything's a lie,
You
people
can't
don't understand.
unsee it, bro. Like the high fat thing, how it's demonized.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, how many people have called you out for like buying a fat like filled product, and they're like, "That's gonna make you fat," like associating fat with being fat.
yeah, because just because the
Like,
word
no,
is
what
the
you're
same.
buying there, those carbs, those will make you fat.
Like energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Chronic illness or disease, obviously. High levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. We've discussed this, so that depends whether it's during the day or during the night.
Yeah.
I think an overexertion and over
If you never rest,
never rest.
then that's sort of what. Because then it's like chronically elevated cortisol. But if you rest well, then it's a good cycle of cortisol because you want
Yeah.
that cycle.
Aging process, testosterone naturally decreases with age. We've discussed that, obviously.
Chronic use of anabolics.
Chronic use of anabolics.
What?
Hayden would know about this.
Yeah, my balls are like that.
Yeah, sultanas.
So it's a joke, mate. No, Hayden's on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So yes, well, it depends though. Chronic use of anabolic steroids can lower your natural production, but obviously your actual test levels will be sky high.
Yeah. Like look at the synthetic testosterone.
But if you get
through the
off it,
charts.
if you get off it, then
Yeah.
So technically, it does lower.
it lowers your natural production. Yes.
High intake of trans fats.
What are trans fats? Like, what is the actual...
I'm not entirely sure.
That's
I
fat
haven't
from
done
trans
it.
people.
Yeah, it's fat from trans people.
It's a certain type of fat.
Overtraining.
It's the non.
I got to zoom up on this. This is a little small.
Like when you hear
It's
healthy
straining
fats,
my
that's
eyes.
not trans
I'm pretty sure straining eyes is lowering testosterone. So, okay. Chronic use of marijuana. Okay, I want to speak on this real quick because I used to be a massive pothead, and we have a few in the room here. Okay. I'm fucking telling you it does. I'm telling you. No, listen, bro. Listen. Okay. I'm not saying. I'm saying me personally. When I used to smoke every day, I turned into a legitimate girl. It was in my voice. It was in everything I did. I was emotional. I was very, very emotional, and I wasn't in my right mind. I'm not looking at anyone in this room. I'm talking about me personally.
Is it the actual marijuana chemical? Or is
I'm
it
not
like,
sure, but think of potheads, and I think of estrogen. I really do.
Or could it be with the whole like...
I said I'm not looking at anyone in this room.
identifying,
Yeah.
bro?
Or could it be like, you know, you said with the stress
like
thing?
Yeah.
Like, because marijuana literally
Yeah. Well.
no stress at all. So when
Yeah.
you're sleeping, you'd be like...
Yeah. You'd probably have
Yeah.
high cortisol during your sleep.
I mean,
But the actual chemical itself.
I think it can be good for some people. Like, obviously, marijuana is also like it's a medicine, bro. It can be really good for you. It can be good for stress. It can be
But
good for a
that's
lot of
illegal.
things.
Chronic use.
But it's chronic use, is what they're saying here. And I was chronically using marijuana.
I'll be real. When I'm not training and I'm not working, it's bad. It's like chronic. But when I'm training and I'm working, the only time I need it is when I get home from training and I'm G'd up and I just want to bounce around and I just have it just low me down. And then once I'm low down, I put my head on the pillow and I'm gone.
I think it can be beneficial.
moderation, it's
It
good.
can be beneficial for people that have a lifestyle like that. Like you look at it, dude. So many athletes use marijuana. So many athletes.
Bro,
You know
look
what I
at
mean?
Nate
Bro,
Diaz. Bro, Nick
Bazinga.
Diaz fought stoned.
Yeah.
Literally fought stoned.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Oh, great for recovery.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I don't understand how we can normalize alcohol as a pleasure, but chronic use, but marijuana can be seen as a drug. Which what pisses me off the most is if you look at Nick Diaz, he was robbed of his prime because he smoked weed.
Yeah.
But then look at John Jones, fucking filled with steroids, serial game, fucking Brock Lesnar, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. You just.
Conor McGregor is
The best way to identify an NPC is say, is it alright that alcohol's legal and marijuana's not? And if they demonize marijuana and say alcohol's fine,
Do you know why? I reckon they
NPC.
do also demonize marijuana. This might be a bit of a stretch, but for me personally, when I used marijuana, it gave me like an awakening, right? Like there was a lot of things that opened up to my mind, and I think that the government would have the best interest in, because if everyone was stoned and chronically just stoned, that would be great for the government, because if this does actually lower testosterone, that's what they want. Then why would they be demonizing it?
Well, they're
Because it opens your
legalizing it.
mind.
They are legalizing it in certain
yeah.
countries.
I thought it was just it was illegal just because it's so easy to grow on your own.
Yeah, there'd be so many reasons that I wouldn't be able to fit in this podcast, but let's get into the next
Enough
one.
about that. We're on self-improvement. Don't
Here
do
we
that
go.
at all.
Exposure to heavy metals like lead, cadmium, or mercury.
All those heavy
Yeah.
metals.
Tap water.
Yeah, I mean just tap water.
There's traces of all that stuff in tap water.
Pesticide exposure, like think about all of the plants that you eat from the grocery store are covered in pesticides.
This is what I'm saying.
That's what they spray to keep the
Yes,
fucking bugs
once
off.
again, you are safe eating meat. I'm just going to keep repeating it.
And they put like chemicals in the fruit to make it grow a certain
Yeah,
way and
yeah.
grow like bigger and
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
That's a nice shiny red apple.
They put fucking they put
wax
wax.
on-
They
yeah,
put wax on.
There's a, if you if you're at home, go grab an apple real quick and just look at it and just scratch it. If you scratch it real lightly, you'll get the wax in between your fingernails.
Yeah.
There is a layer of wax
layer of
around
wax,
every
yeah.
single apple in the store.
I think it's like people wash them, but even then, like
doesn't
wax
do
is water resistant. Like
Eat
as we
meat,
know,
brother.
as we fucking know.
Have a steak, brother.
Yeah, steak, eggs, milk, done,
yeah.
finished. Inadequate intake of dietary fats.
Once again.
Once again, the fats. You need the fats.
ChatGPT, you're repeating yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, also, we're just trusting ChatGPT.
Yeah.
No, it's saying
Yeah, this is
chronic sleep deprivation. Like they've already said that.
I'm going back to the apples one because I might have sounded a bit more retarded than I thought, but it could the layer of wax one it's probably got things in there not good for you, but I think the purpose of the layer of wax is to keep the apple good and fresh.
No, it's make it look shiny, so you grab it and go, ooh,
Yeah, but that's
shiny
the
red
point.
apples.
If it doesn't have that layer of wax on it, it goes brown. No,
Yeah, but that's not beneficial for your health.
It doesn't really. It's not like a sealed bag.
Yeah.
Stuff can still get in it. Have you seen an apple without wax? It doesn't look as shiny and smooth.
it's just an apple.
And also, it's fun to eat.
But when you pick an apple off the tree, it's all dry and shit.
Yeah, no one wants to buy that shit. We have certain medications, obviously.
Oh no, this next one.
Overconsumption
it's
of
over.
caffeine. Oh no.
That's a lie.
I've been saying this to Will.
Yep.
I reckon.
I mean, look at any hyper successful person and they're overconsuming of
I think
caffeine.
that's because of the sleep. Like
Yeah.
sleep.
Oh, 100% it would
Oh,
be.
yeah, that probably just relates to the sleep though.
Yeah.
Because I actually know caffeine's good for a lot of things.
Caffeine is, and well, that isn't. But like coffee is like a natural thing. But the only thing I've just noticed is it just gives me terrible sleep if I have
Yeah.
to.
But if you have, if you avoid it in the afternoon, 8 hours before you
There's
sleep.
a protocol that you should follow. Will elaborate.
Protocol?
Caffeine protocol.
Okay, well just don't have it. The times you shouldn't have it is 90 minutes after you wake up, and within 8 hours of going back to sleep.
I thought
Yep.
it was 6.
You'd be safer with 8 because the half life is 6 hours. So if you're pinging off 500 megs of caffeine at let's say 4 o'clock and you go to bed at 10 o'clock, you'll still have 250 in your system. So it depends how much you've had. You work it out. I think there's half-life calculators out there.
Excuse me?
Say it again. Say it one more time. One more time. Just one more
Chronic
time.
sleep deprivation.
Chronic sleep deprivation.
Yeah, obviously this is massive. Like if you just wake up after a fucking shit
I'm
sleep,
cooked. I'm actually
yeah,
cooked.
you're cooked. Psychological factors like depression and anxiety, but once again, low test causes depression and anxiety, therefore leading you into a spiral of emotional discharge. I mean, it's just a recipe for disaster having low tests. It'll ruin your life. It'll make you feel like you're a person that you're not. And it will literally cripple... It makes your dick not work. It'll cripple the younger generation. We're fucked.
Literally makes you a female.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Well, that's literally what makes a female. So.
Bro, I actually think this is the biggest issue. Like, people don't really see it, but I think low test...
Number one issue in the world.
probably the number one issue in the world.
Let's debate it. Come on. It's the number one issue.
Well, not... I mean...
yes.
Yeah. No, low test.
For the average person, yeah.
For the West.
For the West.
I think for the
yes.
West it is.
For the West.
If we can go back to before, let's say a few months prior to when that Andrew Tate fella started coming up and then made this big man fucking phase, you know what I mean? Before that, there was like there was a bunch of weird stuff going on, and everything was getting normalized, like dudes turning into chicks and chicks turning into dudes. It was becoming really normal. Mm-hmm. And then these, like Andrew Tate, whatnot, all these people came out of nowhere, and it kind of like switched the genre a bit.
It was,
you know what I mean?
someone had to come and do it because society's, it's like a pendulum, right?
Yeah.
She goes back and forth. Like, it swings way too far one way. It's got to swing back the other way. It was just getting too cooked with all this trans,
People started to catch
gay,
on
like
anyway.
people catch on. It had to fucking happen. So I definitely think it's starting to swing the other way now.
Oh,
and it's
for
like,
sure.
bro, it feels like everyone's in the
sure.
gym now. Maybe not walking down to fucking Coles,
And
but it does feel like everyone's getting into the gym. Like, the gyms are packed. You can see it. It's fucked.
Yeah. If you go back a year, the gyms were not as packed as they are
No
now.
way. But
And-
when I joined the gym, I'm not even gonna say what gym I'm at, but like,
Yeah, don't.
when I joined there, it was like, you remember it? It was like empty. You can literally go back a year ago, it's empty. The same as every other gym.
Like, we'd go there sometimes in midnight and we'd be like the only ones in there. We'd just be having fun. These days you
go there midnight.
and it's packed still.
No, it's not packed at midnight, but there's people in there.
And you can see it.
Dermot,
Oh, yeah, and you
Packed at midnight? Actually,
yeah, there's literally lots of people there at midnight. It's crazy.
Yeah. But no, what I was going to say about that Andrew Tate thing is there was a boy, he made a statement, I think it was to the news or something, about how he like for months and months and months he wanted to be a chick. Like he was about to get on estrogen to become a chick, whatnot.
Yeah.
And then the Andrew Tate bloke came out of nowhere, and this kid decided, you know what, I'm gonna follow what this guy says. I'm gonna give it a go. And I think it was after like a month or so, he decided, no, I don't actually want to be a female. It was all brainwashed.
I want to see more success stories like that.
Wait, with the whole thing, I don't think it's. Okay, I'm gonna sound like. I don't think anything's wrong with becoming transgender. They just shouldn't like propose it like, you know.
I'll debate you on this one. I don't care.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm just saying I don't think they should like say like they're trying to make like brainwash into people becoming it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like if you feel.
But do you think it's normal to do that though?
Oh, do what you want.
While we're on the topic of
do what you want.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't do what you want.
while we're on the topic of chicks turning into dudes and dudes turning into chicks, has anyone recently seen the war of the Filipino ladyboys and the Thailand ladyboys? Because they cross paths, like they cross territory, and there was like a massive brawl of trannies.
Wait, actually,
Yeah, someone pull it up, please.
See this.
I'm gonna pull this up.
Please pull this up.
It's
Jamie,
funny.
pull that up.
What are we talking about this?
It's like Thailand and Filipino ladyboys clash.
And
Wait, why were they next to each other?
Because
Was there some border that they crossed?
Miss Universe? No.
No, not Miss Universe.
Thailand, Philippines, ladyboys.
Like Ladyboy War.
Yeah, no, ladyboy. It was like a turf war. Yeah, there it is.
This one? Is
Yeah,
this
it's
one?
turf war.
War.
Oh my God.
It's a little turf war.
Oh.
But yeah, if you don't know, I'm sure everybody knows
Burger
this. If you know anything about Thailand, Philippines, the way a lot of those guys make money over there is by becoming a female.
Yeah.
Great career.
Sometimes, people got to do what they got to do.
No, this is a shit video. This one. Since
I want to see the actual videos. I want to see
Yeah,
trannies fighting.
That's it. Oh no, is it?
Torn Sparks transgender war.
Yes, it is. Wait, you see them all fighting. What the fuck? Oh, they blurted and shit.
Oh my days.
But yeah, no. The video.
Between a group of 20 Philippines.
It was
20 fucking transgenders. So wait, so these are all blokes.
Yeah, these are all blokes into.
I mean chicks. I mean
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah, chicks and
Trans people.
dudes and yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to say it. No, I'll get cancelled.
Yeah. There are no chicks with dicks. Only dudes with tits. That's funny.
But yeah, turf war.
Turf war.
Okay,
Okay, so I actually want to talk about this because I have no fear. So you would say that being trans is like a normal thing.
I don't think. No, it's well.
No.
I just think do what you want, but I'm saying don't force it upon people to think they are.
Yeah.
trans.
I agree with
Do what
that.
you want.
Do you think it's good for their mental health?
I know. I've actually seen someone who became more mentally but they were a really shy, quiet person when they were a man, and then they finally came out and told everyone that they wanted to be a woman, and they changed their name, they started dressing, and they were like a whole different person, like completely confident.
So
Like, it's just
yeah, but I gained a lot of following on TikTok for talking about this issue, and I was actually banned for this reason, by saying that the only reason a guy would want to become trans is from a fucked up hormone system from this shit. It's because their estrogen levels have dropped to the point of being a guy. Think about this, right? So your test levels here, estrogen levels here. It's dropping, and then they wonder why they feel like a girl. It's because you have fuck all testosterone from all this shit. So then they go, oh, I feel like a girl. It's like, well, of course you do. Your hormones are displaying that.
Yeah.
That's why it's an issue. That's why. So all they would have to do is then get their test levels back up, be prescribed with not more estrogen, more testosterone, and then they'll feel good again, feel normal
But
again.
also, like you say,
Because
like
you might as well go that way than the other way, because you've already got that genitalia and the rest.
You
It's
also say
easier.
like a healthy
Easier.
lifestyle, and you say like a sport like weightlifting and martial arts boosts testosterone.
Yeah.
But there is transgender weightlifters and like MMA fighters, and they have a healthy lifestyle. They're doing all the things to raise
If you're talking about
testosterone.
athletes, and
But they still want to be.
Like,
But they still want to be a woman. Like
Yeah, but some.
I truly don't think it's hormone. I think it's like just something different in the brain.
Which links to hormones.
I truly believe some trans athletes, they become trans and an athlete just to dominate the females.
No, that has happened. Yeah.
I don't believe that they genuinely think that they are a girl. I believe that they're getting flogged by the men, so they're too much of a pussy to get better. They just become a chick.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that's probably not entirely true, but
I mean, and it does
That's
happen.
literally happened.
A lot of like women's records are people who just decided to become a woman for a couple hours.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, true.
another thing though, with trans people and just trannies, like I get it from a standpoint, like if you're a child and you say, oh, I'm meant to be in a girl's body, but you're a boy and you turn trans, I get it, like you do you, bro, I don't care, but I personally believe you have a chemical imbalance in your brain.
Yeah, like,
but and again, and
Come on, you don't know what's going on.
and
No,
the
but yeah,
P and the
that's the
trans
thing.
the
But kids
trans
say they want to be dinosaurs. The fuck?
Literally,
You don't believe them when they say they
literally.
want to be a chick?
And I'm sorry, but you go to Thailand and whatnot, you see these ladyboys. If they had the opportunities we have in Australia and America, I guarantee probably 70% of ladyboys would still be dudes, because the only reason they become ladyboys is so they can make money and provide for their families.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? That's facts.
Yeah, no, that is facts.
I mean, when were trans people invented?
Invented? Who invented? Albert Einstein invented the trans.
I actually looked this up. They were always a thing, but like for eight generations, they've always been a thing, but they just get killed if they came out. They just die. But it's now that it's becoming more acceptable.
Yeah.
It's like the same with everyone says, oh, mental health is such a bad thing now. It always was a thing, like forever and ever. It's just no one was
of
open
course.
about it until now.
Yeah.
It's the same with gay people. It's always been a thing, but no one has been open about it until now, because everyone. You get killed if you.
So what do you think like it exactly is then that would want a guy to become a girl?
I don't know. I don't want to be a girl, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's like what they want, because before
it's always
before this whole like social media, when like people were getting brainwashed by social media, people were wanting to be trannies before social media.
Yeah, but
so it's like who was brainwashing?
I'm a stats guy.
I didn't say it's all brainwashing. I'm saying it's to chemical
Look
imbalance
up
in the brain.
Look
That's
up
an
men's
issue. It's
suicide
disability.
rates. Look up men's suicide rates last 100 years. Come on, mate.
Right.
Because like
Got images?
after Vietnam, the suicide rates were like at a high. See, like they are higher, but they're not. Yeah, but the charts are all different.
They're all pointing up. From,
Apart from this one.
Yeah, like none of them. They're all different. So
is there a Look, just go to normal Google.
What's that over time? Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. Right.
.gov.
.gov. I mean, can we trust .gov?
It might be going up, like, because robots are becoming a thing. Like, people have less of a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, people,
Oh, there was definitely
purpose.
purpose back in the day. You had no
These
option.
days, more like less and less people have purpose.
Well,
But
here's
it's
the
like,
thing.
but like mental health issues, like depression, has always been a thing. It's just no one was open about it.
Oh, bro, it's definitely bigger now.
If we can,
100%. Yeah, everyone seems to be depressed now.
Yeah, because
Like, it's like
everyone's-
normal.
because everyone's like. willing
So everyone's
to
just
be
doing
open
something about it now.
Everyone's
Everyone's
just being open.
Everyone's just
about it.
acting on it now.
Yeah.
the problem. Sorry.
No, you go.
No, the problem is depression, and the feeling of feeling like shit has been so normalized
It's
that people
glorified.
people enjoy feeling that way,
Bro, literally.
because it gives them an excuse to be like, oh, feel sorry for me, talk to me.
That's
you know what
so
I mean?
true.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost addicting.
Like, I mean, the way I look at it, I could never be like chronically depressed, because I feel in my brain that there is no good without bad. Like, no matter how bad it gets for me, I could easily identify with being depressed. But for me, I just see it as the contrast of life. That's how I see it. I see there
it's
is no.
honestly how you
If I wasn't feeling this shit, there's no way I could feel this good.
Yeah.
It's just life.
It's
to
yin and
me.
yang, mate. There's a reason that's like...
And if you're feeling a bit sad, you're not depressed, because depression has been scientifically proven. It's not an illness; it is a chemical imbalance in your brain.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
they give you medication, and that medication is obviously not good for you. And I feel like that it's. Sorry, but the depression medication that the government gives kids and people nowadays,
Fucked
it fucks them. If
Why do they allow kids to get on depression medication?
I'm sorry, if you- if-
parents
wouldn't
that
that-
happen?
if you go,
Wouldn't that fuck up the? Because what
Wouldn't
does
it?
it?
Of course it does.
No,
yes,
but, yeah, but the what's the actual drug called? Antidepressants.
antidepressants.
What does that? What does that do?
Alright, so this is what I was talking
Pretty
about.
much serotonin.
Depression.
basically serotonin.
Depression is literally a symptom of low test. This is what I was trying to say. So, this is like I say, the only reason you would want to be trans is if you were low test. which is so obvious. But anyway, so here we have a few symptoms: low sex drive, obviously, reduced erectile dysfunction, less body hair, less beard growth. I mean, just look at like 20-year-olds back in the day. Everyone had a full fucking beard. Less muscle mass, feeling very tired all the time, obesity, symptoms of depression.
When I look at this, I think almost every dude.
You think almost every dude these
young
days.
man
You
these
do.
days.
You do.
Yeah, young man.
Feeling sadness or depression is like, it's just low test. If you're sad and depressed, you're low test. It's just how it is.
Well, obviously you can have those feelings.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
gets those feelings, but like, it's just you got to understand. There's light and dark. It's just it's always gonna be up down. We're always baseline, right? You can't have the good feelings without feeling shit. But people don't understand that, so they think their shit feelings is them being a depressed person. Then they identify with themselves being a depressed person. Then they get on these antidepressants.
That's what I was saying. Mood changes as well. It's like, how can you trust someone to say that they're trans when they have low test and they don't know what they're feeling because because they're low test. They don't know what they're feeling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how can you make a lifelong decision based off of feeling?
Exactly.
Because that's
You
why
think
they end up
logically, when
regretting.
you have high test, you think
It's like,
logically.
what? Yeah, you know what I mean. Memory, low blood count, small testicular or penis size.
Fuck, we're all good boys.
We're all good boys. Checking out.
Sorry, guys. Hayden's fucked.
But yeah, I think we can almost just summarize the podcast.
I
here.
think we all need to get our test levels done,
Yeah.
so that we can have some sort of like.
blood test. Fucking hate them.
You're faint.
Yeah.
Blood tests. I've had too many of them. I hate them.
I think that life is best lived with high test.
As a
I mean,
man, of
it
course
is the biggest issue in today's society, and I see it all around me. I just feel so fucking bad for you because I know how you feel.
But can I also say with the whole like
And the funny part is they just hide it all. Everything that is spoken about, anybody that speaks about the situation is hidden. That's why probably.
That's their excuse for having low view counts.
That's why you'll see some dude talking about gay, LGBT, 100k views. You'll see us talking about shit that'll actually help the youth.
Yeah.
Well, these guys talk about what will help the youth.
Obviously,
100.
never get pushed by like YouTube because the government has their fingers wrapped around social media
Right,
and YouTube. They're like, they're not gonna let this shit get real popular.
If you're brain dead if you don't think there's a higher power running these media rooms.
Oh, fucking 100%.
also no one wants to hear the truth.
Yeah, no one's to hear it.
Because
They want
break 'em
it.
down.
They want it. Bro, have you made a new TikTok account and then you know this because we just made that TikTok account.
Dude, it's the worst, man.
Scroll through just the. I'm like
I'm gobsmacked.
disappointed almost. I'm disappointed that this is the shit that people are consuming. It's just self-loathing bullshit about people glorifying their own depressions and glorifying it's fucking like
it's
stupid.
What we also didn't touch on is like masturbation lowers testosterone. And have you noticed, Lily, there's
shit.
always tits and ass everywhere now.
It's
fucking everywhere. I can't go without it, man. Like if I haven't
thirst traps everywhere.
Yeah,
bro.
literally, I'm just going like, oh, dude, like seeing an ad for like a
because
car.
it's fucking with your primal brain. It's like there are like girls around me I need to fuck, but you can't.
Literally,
It's
you know
fucking with
that
your
there's
primal brain.
an ad that always comes up.
Like it is.
The soap, the Sasquatch soap.
Yeah.
A couple of the ads, it literally has either a chick bending over with someone just holding soap or like tits in front of it.
That's also marketing, but it's still.
But it's like, but now I'm just like thinking of tits.
That's what you need to be.
I want to think of soap, and now I'm thinking of tits and
That's
soap.
what you need to be a man.
Now I'm thinking of soapy tits.
I'm sorry, but if you go on your phone and you see a pair of tits and you can't help yourself but have a wank, you're fucking weak.
But if you're low test,
That's what I'm saying. If you're a man with high test, you need to just resist the urges. But go on to King Maya and let him spit some shit.
bro.
I wank when I want, not when.
I think it's a little bit of self-control, and I think the whole porn thing also is like it's fucking with
obvious.
dudes.
It's coming. It's like, have we gotten to the point where like porn stars are mainstream?
Yes.
It's like they're literally going on Sidemen, which their audience is kids.
It's disgusting, bro.
It's like, and now Jesse James.
That's
West
their
is now
version.
doing videos with porn stars.
But that's probably
It's
their
like-
version of MGK now painting his nails and wearing dresses when he used to be a gangster rapper. It's like Mr. Beast having a trans person in his videos now, and these people all of a sudden go mainstream. Like, I wonder why. All they had to do was sacrifice their soul.
That's a conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, a real conspiracy
You know
theory.
what's funny? People just put that label on conspiracy theories when it's still so fucking obvious. Like, it's so obvious obvious they want us. It's so obvious they want us to be slaves, bro. They're like, well, what's the one thing? Like, we need to kill all sorts of human connections so we can basically put them in a little cage. We're basically in cages already. What's the last thing that's connecting people? Sex, because people want to go on dates. Can't have that. Let's just put porn in their faces so they can just sit in their rooms doing this. They don't need human connection, bro. They're trying to turn us into little fucking robots, and it's so obvious that people can't. Like,
And it's this everything that's happening in today's world is evil, but it's disguised by the high power. And
People
for
get
an instance, I used to have TikTok months ago, but I deleted it a while ago. But my turning point was when I was scrolling and I saw a video of an OnlyFans chick, bikini, like fucking bike shorts, interviewing kids while promoting her OnlyFans.
bro, have you seen Nicki Minaj and Cardi B on like the Barbie thing? Why is no one talking about that still?
That's a Barbie is for kids.
Barbie's for kids, is it not?
It's just
We have great idols out here today.
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
Oh, women don't have good eyes.
I'm just saying,
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
no one even talks about the obvious shit. Like, Mr. Beast was not mainstream until someone had to be trans in that group. There's literally fucking 5 of them. Like, what's the percent that someone's going to be trans? Like, what? And they
It was already pretty mainstream.
whatever. I don't care. But they have a kid's demographic, right? The only way that they could go viral is having a trans person in there, like constantly doing the slay thing and all that. Happens in every single indication.
What? MGK was a gangster rapper from Cleveland, or what is Cleveland?
The only surviving One Direction member was gay. I don't know if he's gay, but he dresses like a gay.
just a little like reflection moment. When I was in primary school around year 1 and 2, I used to like Sam Smith's music, and it's a great singer, and his music was great, and I look back at it now, it's a bit gay, but like I remember on the assembly I got on the stage and was singing Sam Smith.
What?
This was in like year 2.
Whatever.
It was like an audience thing, right? But that's not the story. The story is like after like a year or so, I forgot about Sam Smith because I was a kid, right? And I never ever remembered Sam Smith until about a year ago when I saw him on stage with millions of views, thousands and thousands of likes of him in red like swimsuits.
Bro, I still like his music. Just don't go on his Instagram. You'll be traumatized.
Literally. And
I believe look shredded or something.
like
Like,
the
a 6-pack at least. Come on,
like
man.
there's no way.
So look at this, right? This is, and you want to tell me this shit's not going on, and they're doing it out of their own free will. Like, I have nothing against these Hollywood people because they're getting paid fucking insane amounts of money, and if they don't really care for like the youth or nothing, well, you know.
Can we just say one thing? Like the fact that no one saw this guy for ages, and then he's just popped out in a satanic swimsuit, obese and gay.
He had to do something. It had to be devil, obese, gay,
Here,
trans,
50 million
dresses,
if you
nails,
dress up
painted.
in bikinis and humiliate yourself. Oh, I'm broke now, so I need money anyway.
Look, what is this?
Dark Horse at the Grammys.
They're gonna burn.
Nas X's collaboration with art collective Mischief. The 666 pair of sneakers.
Like, come on, man.
that?
So how did becoming associated with the devil become?
There's human blood in that?
No, it's
It's supposed to be.
It's probably a child's blood.
Is this not? But there's got to be highly religious countries like Muslim countries just looking at this, just like, what the fuck? What a bunch of clowns.
It's fucking embarrassing.
It is.
Supposedly sold his soul to the devil. According to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, legend has it that
It's everywhere.
met the devil
Like, it even happened to Doja Cat, bro.
in exchange
Shaved her head, went mentally insane, and started promoting the devil.
for not a good deal.
Literally.
That's not normal activity. It's not. Why else would you do that, boys? Oh,
How's
give me
this
one
gone from,
reason.
like-
Look at the look in this cunt's eyes, bro.
Like, give me one reason that you would start promoting that shit other than Hollywood influence. I'm waiting. Give me one reason.
See, I want. Yeah.
One reason.
No,
You got one?
Okay, no.
Hayden, you got one?
What's the reason? Go say it again.
What's the reason they'll start promoting being gay,
fat bag, bro.
the devil, or anything like without Hollywood influence?
Because it's making the high power money.
Yeah.
And
So
then
yeah. So it's.
when they have that power, they continue to keep that power to keep the world running.
Why do you think they do that? Like, why are they promoting that stuff in particular?
I honestly, I reckon it's to lower your tests. It's to make you
I think
estrogenic.
it's to break up religion, which is the one thing.
It is to break. This is true. I saw a video the other day of an NFL player, and if you look at he had a interview on, right. It was after his game, and the interview was just like, yeah. Oh, how'd you play tonight? It's like, yeah, I felt great. I felt amazing. But then if you look at the real interview, as he goes, oh, how'd you go tonight? He goes, first of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. They cut it out. They cut it out.
They don't want God. They don't want God.
It's bad, bro.
They don't want God in society because it gives people morals and it gives people like certain rules, right?
Yeah,
because they're following God. They're not following the government. They know they have a direct idea of what's right and what's wrong. That the government doesn't want that. They don't want that because they want to be able to instill their beliefs in you.
Yeah, the government doesn't want you to have a brain of your own. They want your brain to be their brain.
Or that
Way out, delete all social media.
or they don't want you to have a religious brain because there's certain things in there that doesn't make the government money.
Also, regardless of what these guys are doing, do what you fucking want. I like how it's like, they're influencing. It's like, people can like shout in your face, but whatever. It's like, just do what you want.
It's the young and impressionable. Like, you can't do anything to say. You can't just tell everyone wake up when like this is in their face every day. You have to have some people like AT or other people that are going against that grain. You know what I mean? You need some high test individuals in there.
But then you say, if you say these type of things to like many people nowadays, about, oh, bro's retarded, bro's out of his mind.
Bro's trying to bring Andrew Tate or something. I'll whip that one out. It's like, you're just programmed, mate.
Literally.
There's just so many brain rules. So much
Like,
brain
it's just-
rules.
Like, I think I don't want you guys to let me know what you think about this, but I honestly think the biggest reason, if I'm looking at the overarching reason why they would want to lower men's testosterone levels, is to make them more controllable. Because if you think about back in the day, there was a clear feminine woman and a clear masculine man. The masculine man made the decisions around the house, around everything, structured it, and the woman would take care, do her duty, right? If you make men like women and they both live in an emotional world where they can't make their own decisions like proper men do, then the government makes the decisions for you.
Exactly.
So if there's men there, there's a problem. You know what I mean? Because masculine men, they do what they fucking feel is right.
And the reason they're doing it in, like, for instance, Mr. Beast, the Mr. Beast video is like, they're targeting the young people because they're the most impressionable, and that's going to be the next generation. Like, they can't really get us because we have our own brain.
If they're promoting the devil, then they can't. Then young people can't get a hold of Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, they can't really, like, our generation, we're probably the last that would really like have our own brains and like have a direct sense of like what's right and what's wrong. But the next generation is like, it's a fresh slate. It's a fresh slate.
Like schools are putting like kitty litter down now.
That's
Yeah, I did see that. No, but I don't know if this is entirely like true. This is just a guess on my end. But I wasn't around back then, so I wouldn't know. But judging by all the tradies nowadays, you hear their stories. They got abused by their tradesmen. Say all this shit, right? They got abused. They went through it. They went through fucking hell apparently to get through their apprenticeship, right?
Yeah.
But like, you think about it, if they went through so much compared to what we go through now, and they completed their apprenticeship, no dramas, and they laugh about it, why is all these kids getting abused on one day and then wanting to quit, never want to go back, and just being a bitch about it?
Yeah, I think a bit of that is important, but also at the same time, you want to set yourself up in a good job.
Yeah, but it doesn't. No, the point.
That's a bit low.
No, the point I'm making is like, how come back then they could? It was all good. Like, fuck, man it out. Nowadays, it's like go in a corner and cry.
And also, furthermore, we're not saying take the punishment, but you're going to go through hardship, but also back yourself up. Like, high test people would back themselves up, but they'd also go through that shit. You know what I mean? Like, apprentices won't stand up for themselves or argue back. That's the reason they're having such a hard time. If they would just negotiate with their boss or speak up to their boss, it would make their life a bit easier.
But why aren't they doing that? Exactly. But they've done something behind the scenes to give everybody low tests, because if you go back,
It's in the foods, it's in the water, it's in the...
You can't escape it, bro. It's fucking everywhere.
It's all a plan. It's obviously a plan.
It's in the trees.
They're in the trees.
Like,
It's honestly hard to avoid the low T disease.
Okay, high testosterone protocol for young guys. I'm going to spit it right now. So you got gym. All right, you need to exert a lot of energy. Okay, meat and dairy. Okay, don't drink tap water. Avoid receipts, plastics, ECT.
Go in the sun.
Go in the sun.
Eggs are huge.
Eggs.
Yeah, eggs. I said dairy.
6 eggs
I just said
before bed.
dairy. So milk, eggs, butter
Eggs
is really good. Butter is really good. Anything that the government doesn't want you to eat that.
Correct.
Yeah, not all of it though, because they probably say
Grass-fed steak.
Fucking shit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can. You know what's funny? People like I actually want to do a test and just go to like what's the most NPC environment? Go to the pub, and I'll tell people, do you think you can survive on 3 steaks a day and that's it? Most people will be like, no, you need other things. You could literally go your whole life eating 3 steaks a day. I actually there was actually a video I saw a while ago of some dude. He's some old fella that said he's been living on this farm. He says, no, I've been eating just steak my whole life. He's like He's like 89 years old. He's like jumping around. He's like, I'm fine.
yeah. Oh.
You should be dead if you eat that. Like, no.
Yeah.
You could literally just only eat steak.
I think a lot of the issues that I will get in the DMs of people saying I'm not motivated for this or I'm not.
That's more just
this.
get out of bed and go in the sun and go.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be fine.
It's all just low test.
It is.
That's why I use it. It's such a joke around here because it's so prevalent. You know, like
such. Yeah.
you should have that inside joke around your boys because it can help. You know what I mean?
Low
like
test. Low
anytime
test.
you're complaining about anything, just low test. You're clearly low test
I just say soy.
or soy or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
estrogenic's a funny word. You
yeah.
can use that one. You use that one on your boys when they say they're not motivated.
Because it's like so demoralizing. Because it's like you're calling me less of a man. You know what I mean? It's just terrible.
Yeah,
I'm
it's saying like, oh, you're estrogenic. It's like the modern day. You're acting like a little girl.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, call me a bad person or whatnot, but like, if I have people around me, and what were you saying just then?
Low test.
Yeah, about the low test or whatnot.
Oh, calling people like estrogenic and stuff.
Yeah. Like, if you're around them and like someone's calling you that, oh fuck, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. It was a good.
Beat him up. Get him in a fucking guillotine.
No. Okay, no, I remember. If you've got a friend around you and they're clearly low test and they're just a drag, you shouldn't be their friend. You shouldn't joke around and be like, oh, you have low test. You should just shift them off the side slowly.
High test people too.
I don't know, just focus on yourself. High test
Literally.
men, like they go their own way, they do their own thing anyway.
100%.
Like they're not. I think of high test men. I don't think they're not really communal people, are they?
Yeah.
Independent.
You've got this.
Independent.
You can really get an idea in your head. Like, just think of these like masculine people in these movies and shit. Like that's what or just think of like a warrior back in the day. You can
like
get a good
James
idea of what
Bond.
high test looks like.
Yeah.
Batman works alone. I know he has Robin.
Like Batman
Honestly,
would
think of like
Batman would be high test. Or think of like any
think of like
superhero.
James Bond.
Yeah, James Bond.
movie goes.
No, they've got James.
Yeah,
Bond
but these
now.
movie characters are modelled over real people who have had high test. You know what I mean? So I think everything in life is just about having high test.
So
No, it's like it's pretty much doing what you want, and if someone else goes, no, I don't feel like doing that. Let's go do this. You say, nah, I want to do that with or without you.
Yeah,
go do that.
Having high test is being a leader. That's why men are supposed to be leaders and women are supposed to be not followers, but they're supposed to take after the man. You know what I'm
Be
saying?
submissive.
Women, unless like they're an independent women in today's day and age, they don't go out in their own lane, get a career, and smash their goals and stuff. That's not women. They take care of your children and they take care of you. That's what female. Oh, I'm a misogynist. Maybe I am. You know what I'm saying? But that's the effects of estrogen.
yeah, I just think the polarity nowadays.
The polarity needs to be there.
The polarity of hormones is a lot less. Where like
That's
let's
why
just
there's so many
say
issues in relationships
females,
too.
Yeah, let's just say females' hormones were here and men's hormones were here. We're sort of about here now.
Yeah,
and then some people cross over.
Have you noticed how though, like, a lot of issues with men and like this testosterone shit has occurred not long after the equality instance?
Yeah, of
Yeah, why would you want to be equal?
As soon as we got them
Why?
jobs.
Why?
But why? Honestly, this is what I believe is probably not true, but who cares? I believe that the women are trying to make us low test. I don't believe it's the men in high power. I believe it's the women. They're trying to make us low so they can dominate us. They're trying to reverse the history.
I think women deep down want to be women, but it's only programming. No, it is because it is.
Okay.
No.
Let me just reframe that. Not women in general, like feminist women.
But feminist women are only feminist from programming and influence anyway. Like true women.
Without
like,
outside
think
influence,
about
they wouldn't
this.
be like that.
Think about this. Without any without any programming or influence from social media or the TV or media or whatever, we naturally came up with this polarity lifestyle where the women would take care of kids. We all figured that out on our own. We thought this is best for humanity. And then we came out with the media and this and that, purport these ideas and stick this in their head. And because women are, you can convince them emotionally, we put this idea in them. And then everything started getting fucked up to that.
If you and a woman and a newborn child got dropped in the middle of the wilderness and told to start a new life there,
you would do it like that.
You would revert back to gender roles.
You would do it
real
like
quick.
that. Yep.
The woman wouldn't go out and hunt. The woman wouldn't go out and get supplies. She'd look after the kid. That's just what makes sense.
Until she tries and dies.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't I know other people have said that. I know people have said this, but think of a daycare full of guys. You just wouldn't drop your kid off there, would you? No, you wouldn't. Just like you wouldn't have a whole trade site full of women. Whoops, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though?
Can we actually look up, like, back in the day, who went out and hunted out of men and women?
I'm pretty sure.
I've heard both. Like, I've heard.
Yeah, but it was different kind of hunting. Like, I think women were the pickers. And
women. I think
gatherers.
Yeah,
but, like,
the gatherers. The gatherers. Yeah.
From what I've heard, it's like because it's like the kid.
No, this is what I mean.
Anyway, I know. But from what I've heard, like in my head, that this kind of does make sense as well. That your kid is your next generation, it's the next you. So the man stays back to protect that, because if you go out hunting and die hunting, the women's going to stay back and protect it from the animals.
Yeah, so either way, whether that happened or it didn't, the values still remain the same. The guy protects, the woman provides.
Yeah.
Because
women provide.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, men protect and provide. Women bring up the children.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when the hunts, just look it up.
No, I get
What's
this.
the question?
I get the situation.
What were the roles?
No,
Well, like,
yeah, no.
Who hunted?
Okay, men gender roles.
No. Who hunted and who gathered? Like, who did what? Like,
You have to ask him. But like, how do we fucking know this?
No,
Were we there?
If you go back right to those days, there'd be 90% of 90% of the of 90% of the what's called like the females and males. They would have played the roles.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Women
See-
we're not physically capable of hunting because they're.
That's misogynistic.
But okay, no, that's not misogynistic.
What do you mean? Women are just as strong as men.
No, that's not true.
Women are just as strong as men.
No,
Jesse.
women are not as strong as men. There is a.
Why would you say that?
Shut up! No, just
That's
let me shut up. Right. So if you look at Joe Rogan's podcast, he said, for an instance, there is like men out there. There's a 1% of men that are just conquerors, right? There's not a 0% chance of women that are conquerors. There is a 1% of women that are conquerors. Yeah. So when you see a really strong woman, just know she could probably kill you.
Yeah.
Just know, like, there's that 1% of women that are conquerers, and those 1% are the ones that went and hunted with their fucking men. No, they're not. They're not lesbians. They're not lesbians. I know a lot of chicks that are fucking strong women, bro.
Apart from like trained, like obviously UFC fighters, but like genetically baseline, there's not a single woman.
I'm sorry, but I've got a chick at my gym. I've got 2 chicks in my. No, I've got fucking 3 chicks in my gym. That if we set up a spar right now, she'd fuck all of us up. They would fuck all of us up.
Equal level training.
Equal. That doesn't. Yeah.
Then it's just the point's lost.
But the point isn't lost though, because she'd still fuck you up. Like, she's still that 1%.
You're training for it.
Yeah, but anyway, if equal training, well, she's going to keep training. You're going to be trying to catch up. She's going to keep going in front of you.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
What's the point?
So now you sound sexist.
Nah. No, it's just when
they have less. Their bone density is less.
When you name
So it's like all different. So who
Yeah.
knows?
Well, that's fucking like, it depends what you listen to. Like, how do we know?
No, but it's like all they could have just changed that to make women go, yeah, we did shit.
But
yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't fucking matter. It's clearly obvious. It's clearly obvious what men's role should be and what women's role should be. If you're trying to back it up with these arguments and shit, you're just trying to sell yourself a fallacy.
If you just look at strength differences, it's like
bone density, the effects of testosterone, higher bone density, bigger muscle mass, stronger.
Like when your girlfriend tries to play fight with you, it's cute, right? Like, she's not going to do anything to you. You just grab
exactly.
you just grab their wrist. Haha.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's clear.
And you wouldn't drop your kid off to an all men daycare. It'd be weird.
Until you have a chick.
How is this testosterone podcast not about gender roles?
Anyway.
True.
because it's testosterone.
What do we know, lads? Anyways.
Just the 1% podcast giving our opinions. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let us know what you think. This is a highly controversial episode. A lot of fire in this room, boys. A lot of tension.
Yeah, Will was getting angry.
I was getting pissed at Will because you're a bigot. You're a fucking
bigot.
What does that mean?
if you could
Define
define
it.
A bigot is someone who's small-minded. You say
I'm the last man.
That's the wrong word. That's the wrong word for Wilbur boys.
Yeah, Will is.
I'm the opposite of small.
Will isn't a bigot, but his statement there just annoyed me
Which
because
statement?
like the one where you're like, oh, women, they're just you just grab their wrists.
What do you mean? But like, explain.
I'll explain. So you're saying that every chick their bone density blah blah. You just grab their wrist. It's funny if they try to play fight. If you go for that 1% woman and she's in front of you.
Obviously, there's outliers in everything. I'm just talking about clear physiological differences between men and women.
Yeah, I don't know why you're angry.
I'm not angry.
There's obviously differences genetically.
Peace.
Yeah. No, I'm down to have like a serious debate. Like it's always interesting.
Yeah, I'm down to have a debate. We can talk about the
Yeah,
physiological.
but it's like you're not debating much because I don't know what it's on about. It's like
Yes,
it's like
okay.
When we're play fighting and to stop them, you can just grab their wrists and
So
That's what I'm saying, to
the
the
point
average.
being that there's a bit of miscommunication here, boys. So basically, what Jesse's saying is there's a 1%
Yes,
women,
I
which there
understand
is. There is. There are some strong fucking
Amanda
women out
Nunes
there.
would fuck me up. Yes. A lot of trained UFC MMA women would fuck me up.
Now, here's where the question remains. Baseline. Okay, we're talking baseline, guys.
like the average.
Is there-
the average woman?
Yeah, so the baseline, is there any female that
It's
would
a
have a
stupid
higher
debate, but
like, it's a stupid debate because you could be born like with a hormone like a hormone
I'm just saying it's not a
disability, but
productive debate. Like,
yeah, it's just really
Is
not.
this debatable? Like
it's not. It's not.
saying.
It's not debatable.
It's much of a really serious.
Okay. Well, okay. What's the overarching?
Yeah, there are some women out there who are like very
Yes.
strong compared to most.
100%.
Just go to Samoa. The women there will beat you
Or
up.
Africa. Or like Africa.
Yeah.
Then-
No, the only reason it just like tickled my dick a little bit is because you're just talking
I'll
like it
tickle
was
your dick.
every chick, you know.
What's
What are you trying to say? You're trying to
99%, I'd say.
yeah? It's just,
But there are definitely women that could fuck us all up in this room, 100%.
oh yeah, Amanda Nunes will come in here and piece us up like there's like nothing.
I know this. She's Samoan, and oh my god, she will like beat you up.
Oh, bro, I saw a chick at Derrimut shoulder pressing 30 kilos. I can't do that.
Yeah, fucking insane.
So there's obviously with training like
yeah, their bone density is insane.
it's not.
It isn't.
Her boyfriend was fucking shoulder pressing 60s. I'm just saying like there are clear physiological differences.
And the
there's a
reason
ceiling.
like we just went through that. So the reason that is because if you look at science, because having high testosterone levels
No, I get that.
equals high bone density, more muscle mass.
I get,
etc.
I get that men are naturally bigger than a female.
So what's your argument?
The argument is that it's just belittling.
It's not.
I'm not belittling
I don't think
anyone.
anyone's belittling here.
I haven't mentioned any woman's name except Amanda Nunes, which are openly admitted.
I get the genetic difference between a male and a female, but
Who did I belittle? Who did I belittle?
don't get all cut now. Just
I'm
come
not
on.
cut. I'm asking you. This is a debate.
God, this is
This is a debate. I think we need to format a
I
debate.
get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, okay, then leave it.
Exactly.
No, this is interesting, boys.
I'm trying to have an interesting debate for the sake
Having
of
high
entertainment.
testosterone equals disagreeableness. Also, I'm being serious.
Oh yeah, this is also another trait.
So another
Like
trait
that.
is being able to have a productive argument without getting emotionally charged.
Right.
So, I